Hey, what's good, y'all? Let's touch on this topic real quick. So, as black people, I know that majority of us have experienced certain encounters with law enforcement, and some people's experiences may have been better than others. Uh, I know that it's been times that I've came across law enforcement who were really assholes, and I came across law enforcement that seemed to be pretty cool. So I've said once before that where I believe that, or where I know, um, the police force derived from, they derived from the runaway slave patrol. Now, everyone's, I ain't gonna say everyone, the majority of people know or live under the moniker that black people are supposed to be free, but there's still a form of systematic racism uh, predicated upon black people to keep black people at a certain level. Okay. I don't want to use that as an excuse. It's just like it is what it is. You'll see certain black people that will be allowed to reach a certain plateau, but they still can't say whatever it is they want out of their mouth. You know what I mean? They still can't really express themselves like they want unless it's against a certain I'm gonna say, if you're talking about people, it better be a certain group of people that the majority of society is comfortable with you offending. You know what I mean? Because if it's anybody else, you going, if you in a high position and you're a speaker, you're not gonna have that position no more. They're gonna shut you up. You know what I mean? It's just it is what it is. Um, how do you separate what's a good cop from a bad cop? What determines? I would like to know. In your opinion, what determines what's a good cop if they're on a police force with other cops that are assholes or that um, violate black people's rights, unjustly. You know what I'm saying? Or just because they're power struck, or just feel that they can. You know what I mean? Because they feel that they're going to have leniency in the courtroom. They know that 9 times out of 10 they're going to get away with it. You know, look up the conviction rate on police officers. You'd be surprised. See, people get caught up with this. Oh, the officer was charged. Excuse me, the officer was charged with a crime against a black person or something like that. You're focusing on the wrong word. You know what I'm saying? You're focusing on the wrong thing. What you should be focusing on is if the officer was convicted. And if the officer was convicted, how much time did that officer supposedly get? You know what I mean? See, I hate to say it, but black people are so disillusioned and brainwashed that, I don't know, the simplest thing, just to hear that a cop was charged with something, not knowing that a charge can be dropped at any given time. It's just a charge. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean it does. You have to have proof. You know what I'm saying, to um, be found guilty of the charge. A certain type of evidence has to be brought to court. You know what I'm saying? Or witnesses, or surveillance, something. You know what I'm saying? It That's how you determine whether a person is guilty or not. So I don't know why black people have this thing with getting so excited when they hear that after a black person was violated, that the officer or officers behind it were charged, instead of saving that energy for when we get a conviction. You know what I'm saying? And they get a just amount of time for their actions. Most of the times the cops get off of that, and black people are celebrating for what? What you celebrating for? They killed this person and got off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? But when it comes to officers, the police force, the police, in my opinion, I think the only way you could classify any cop as a good cop, because see, like I said, they can have their good things about them, certain officers. Because like I said, I'm gonna say it again. Not all officers are all the way bad, but when it comes to you, the cop protecting you and the cop protecting the fellow officer, who do you think the cop is going to side with? You or his fellow officer, or his or her fellow officer? You know, people get my comment sections and say stupid shit, but do you are you aware that cops take oaths and sign contracts just like anything else? If there's an oath or there's a contract signed, then the oath or the contract can be broken. But that's not what it's for. So you know there would have to be certain consequences if you were to break a certain oath or contract. You know what I'm saying? In any genre of life, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that contract or oath is, whatever's behind it. It's just, it is what it is. So if a cop that sees his fellow officer or fellow officers violating a black person, you know what I'm saying? Or roughing up a black person unjustly, you know what I'm saying? And um like just the action that is like unnecessary shit, right? And they don't intervene or they don't report those officers. I mean, how good of cops are they really at the end of the day? Black Dr. Phil, I'm out, man.